Welcome back. This is Confessing Lies or Telling Stories. I am the DJ. We all know that within the deception and the distractions, they have to hide some truth in there. Let's look for it together.
Don't ever put anything in a text message. At the CIA on our very first day, they told us not to ever say or do anything that we would be ashamed to see on the front page of the Washington Post. I took that seriously. The truth of the matter is, because of technology the way it is today, our whole lives are out there potentially for someone to see, for someone to use against us. So be careful what you say, be careful what you write, even in jest, because it can be taken out of context to target you.
First of all, isn't it crazy how any clip that uses that instrumental automatically just sounds worse? As far as the clip goes, we all know that. Text messages don't go away, and they'll never convince me that there's not somebody walking around whose their entire responsibility is just to keep track, find out, be nosy. Sounds like a dream job to me.
What if Lucifer isn't in hell, but locked under the Vatican? In 1853, the church uncovered a hidden tomb beneath St. Peter's Basilica. Inside, a black coffin, wrapped in 7 chains, covered in 72 symbols, each one tied to a demon from the Ars Goetia. The church believed those symbols weren't decoration, they were containment. And each time the world fails, war, famine, corruption, a chain breaks. One snapped in 1914, another in 1945, then 1968, and again in 2001. Only 3 remain. The Vatican denies the tomb exists, but deep beneath Rome, Lucifer is moving.
Can we put some more chains on it? At least try to. We're just gonna stand back and just let the chains break, and we're not gonna try to do anything. All the technology, all the know-how, and we can't just, throw a couple chains on it, see if it holds even a little while longer. Just some thoughts.
Well, allegedly, you may have just celebrated your last Christmas holiday. And why do I say that? Because according to a post by President Donald J. Trump, he stated that this might be our last Merry Christmas. But he's not the only one saying things like that. As a matter of fact, take a look at this.
So,
Listen to
I didn't
this.
think this was true. Check this out. Hey, Alexa, how many days until Christmas 2026?
There aren't any Christmas holidays in 2026.
What did you just hear that I just heard in that video? I thought maybe it's a mistake because there have been some updates to Alexa's operating system, including the new voice. But then I did some digging and research and found a few more videos of individuals asking similar questions and getting similar results. Take a listen to this. Listen.
Alexa, how many days until Thanksgiving 2026?
Thanksgiving Day in 2026 is 332 days away, on Thursday, November 26th.
Alexa, how many days until Christmas 2026?
There aren't any Christmas holidays in 2026.
So did Alexa just say something that she should have not said in the first place? There was also mentions of it by AI and also the President of the United States. So what the heck is actually going on? Is it just a mistake on all parts? Or is there actually something planned or something going to happen? And keep this in the back of your mind. AI is Alexa. Alexa is AI. And it's very difficult to scrub something from AI unless the people that control the AI scrub it themselves. And as far as the statement by President Donald J. Trump, he told everyone to enjoy what might be their last Merry Christmas. So I guess my question to you is, does any of this sound like a greeting? Or does this sound like some type of warning? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
It sounds like they're gonna save me a lot of money. Christmas costs a lot. But I'm gonna have to see it to believe it. As much as they promote spending around the holidays, Black Friday, I just don't know that this economy is willing to sacrifice all the money spent during the Christmas holidays. So we'll see. We'll be around to see it. We'll do an update. I am sick of these clips coming after the products that I use. Not the black ice air freshener. They're the best smelling ones, and they're still in testosterone. Do I want to stink, or do I want to be manly? I guess I got some decisions to make. It's very easy. The first one, most likely AI. The second one, the wind was blowing very hard in the opposite direction, so the ball didn't really go far. The third one, it was a dragon in the water. And the fourth one was tall purple people. What's not to understand? Very simple, very factual.
Something really weird is happening in 2026. We know The Simpsons have predicted a lot of events, along with people like Baba Vanga and Nostradamus, but well, we're cooked. This year already, 3 months in, there's already a few predictions that have actually come true, or semi-come true. And well, just you wait till you hear the ones that are yet to come true, because they better not. First of all, The Simpsons actively spoke a lot about AI and things taking over. Big topic was, in 2026, AI actually taking over a lot of human jobs, which obviously we are on track for and is kind of happening. In The Simpsons as well, there was a lot of talk that in 2026, growing political chaos and rivalry. Yeah, very similar again though, now switching to Baba Vanga, who's the prophet who's like blind and predicted everything, even her own death. She said, very similarly, humans could start losing control of technology this year, and a major global shift will begin. Well, yeah, that's happening. Now we've got Nostradamus, who's arguably the most famous. He said, 2026, a great upheaval in the world, and powers rising that no one can stop. Great. We might as well just rage quit now. We might as well. Obviously, that's not necessarily true yet, but there is a lot of conflicts escalating, new world powers, and something bigger happening that we probably don't know. So, now also it's been predicted that in 2026, a major scientific breakthrough is going to happen. Don't know what that's going to be. Along with a sudden global event that shifts everything overnight. Stop. Oh, and something in the sky that people won't be able to ignore. This isn't sounding too good, I'm not going to lie. Global instability and something that changes the world. Conflict, a sudden global event, and something in the sky that people can't ignore. Been a lot of talk about aliens this year. I don't know. No, leave that. Make sure you hit that follow button, because if even a quarter of this comes true, 2026 is going to be insane.
Well, same for 2025, 2024, and every year for the last at least 10 or 15 years. They're gonna get us in an uproar. They're gonna scare us. They're gonna rage bait us. This world is interesting. So interesting that we can't tell fact from fiction anymore. But it's fun, isn't it? I'm having a blast.
This man was walking back from fishing when he captured this on video.
Yo, what the? What the? Bro. There's nobody in here. Yo!
That's a very cool reaction to a very uncool situation. First of all, you were in there. That's no. And you walked in there with a phone recording. Wrong tool. That's not what you walk in there with. But that's okay. At least you got some footage. I wouldn't have. I would have heard somebody help me once, and then I would have kept going where I was going. You can't trust anything nowadays, and I don't need to find myself in any kind of situation.
Have you seen the theory about clocks?
No.
So when you look at a clock, it looks pretty normal. You never think anything of it. But what if I told you there's actually a really dark theory behind the idea of a clock?
What?
Right, and you go across the clock, across the way, you see like 11 and 1, it equals 12. 10 and 2 equals 12. 9 and 3 equals 12. 8 and 4 equals 12. 7 and 5 equals 12. And then 6 plus 6 equals 12. They all equal 12.
Wait, what does that mean though?
Well, also think about this. When you go diagonally and look at the numbers and you subtract it, like 12 minus 6 equals 6. 11 minus 5 equals 6. 10 minus 4 equals 6.
Wait, what is going on?
But wait, if you look at this a different way too, if you look across, 12 plus 1 equals 13. 11 and 2 equals 13. 10 and 3 equals 13. 9 and 4 equals 13. It all equals 13.
So what's the theory?
You look at all the numbers, right? It's just weird how you go different formulations and they all equal the same.
That's actually kind of scary.
I don't really want to get into like the exact thing that I saw, but it is weird how everything, equals the same. Comment if you guys know what that is.
Dude,
I don't
that
know.
was
I don't
weird.
want to say.
That like gave me chills just looking.
The concept of time alone is terrifying. Not just clocks, just time in and of itself. How fluid it is, how sometimes it seems to move faster, sometimes it seems to stop completely. Time is the only thing I respect more than money. With enough time, I can make more money, but no matter how much money I have, I can never get more time. Crazy.
Babies' cries were heard, then silenced forever. Young girls were groomed, brutalized, and shattered by twisted minds who thought power made them untouchable. Smash that hard button and save this video immediately because you're about to see real, unfiltered evidence from the Jeffrey Epstein nightmare. Freshly released in 2026, politicians named bodies allegedly buried in remote, expensive hideaways. The ultra-rich, the celebrity elite, the globally powerful, they all orbited these dark circles, hungry to join in. The DOJ just dumped over 3 million pages, 180,000 images, and 2,000 videos into the public domain. What leaked out is horrifying. What's still redacted or hidden? Unimaginable. These files expose atrocities that defy belief: systematic abuse, trafficking, and worse, carried out by the elite, guarded by their money, connections, and sheer terror. Who did exactly what? Doesn't even matter anymore. Plenty knew, plenty looked away, plenty shielded the monsters, cover-up, sweetheart deals, and zero real accountability. That's the pattern. Our society has a cancer, the belief that if you're rich and connected enough, you can ruin lives without ever facing justice. And it's not over, not even close. We must scream this from every platform, amplify the victims' voices, force transparency, and fight for genuine consequences, because protecting human beings and the sanctity of life is non-negotiable. Tell me in the comments what shocks you most about this endless scandal. Share this video wide. Let more eyes see the ugly truths hiding behind power.
With all of the releasing and redacting and then re-releasing and then redacting and then finding this and leaking that, they've already controlled the narrative. Whatever the truth is completely buried within the deception. You'll never find it. You might as well leave it alone. We all know they do things. We all know. We only know if they want us to. And we all know we're never gonna find out the truth about the Epstein thing. You might as well let it ride. It went when he went. Yeah, it makes you think. The originator went missing, but now we have CERN with full support of what it seems to be the entire world and the people who control it. They seem to be all behind CERN doing the things they're doing when everything they're doing terrifies me.
She started freaking out after finding something disturbing in her food.
I want to know how I've been sitting here eating this meat and I noticed a row of teeth in my shit. And that ain't it. They got the top and bottom jaw in my shit.
After buying meat from a small shop near the Appalachian Mountains, everything seemed completely normal at first. She brought it home, started preparing it, and even ate part of the meal without noticing anything unusual. But while cutting another piece, something caught her eye. Embedded in the meat was what looked exactly like a row of teeth, not bones. Not cartilage, teeth. And not animal teeth either. The shape, the spacing, the size, it looked disturbingly close to a human molar and part of a jaw. At first, she thought she was imagining it. Shock can do that. But the more she looked, the worse it got. The structure was clear. The enamel, the root. This was not something that should ever be found in packaged meat. She immediately stopped eating and recorded what she found. The video spread fast, and people began pointing out something even more unsettling. The area where she bought the meat is close to remote regions of the Appalachians, a place already surrounded by legends, disappearances, and stories locals rarely talk about. Authorities were contacted, but no clear explanation was ever given publicly. Some claimed contamination. Others said it was impossible. And a few asked the question no one wanted to answer. Where did that meat really come from? So what do you think she found in her food? A horrifying accident or something far darker? Follow and subscribe for more unsettling stories that turn everyday life into a nightmare.
First of all, she didn't immediately notice anything. That's very cleaned. And she saw those teeth well before that bone was cleaned. So either she was hungry, it was good, or she didn't care. She cleaned it all the way. You just not seeing those teeth just now? Nah, you saw that before. Hope it was good, because whatever you tasted, it tasted you back.
War is a distraction from this.
Wait, it's not about their nukes?
No. Iran's central bank counts because their oil and energy is very important, including for China. If you're going to come out with programmable money,
with a revolutionary new payment system,
with digital IDs that are interoperable globally, that controls in each jurisdiction centrally, you can't afford leakage. Iran right now is the big leakage in the system. Now, Larry Fink and BlackRock have said,
we need to move very rapidly.
They're planning on trading all stocks and bonds using tokens.
All investments on a tokenized platform.
What it means is this is going to be...
we have one common blockchain.
You know, potentially $100, $200, $300 trillion market. $100, $200, $300 trillion market.
The wars, the Epstein files, the aliens, AI... it's all to keep you from the truth. The power brokers are trying to preserve US dollar dominance at any costs.
Yeah, we know they're trying to do something. There's too many things going on. They just came out of nowhere. And they're going completely overboard, out of control, which means something's going on. They're trying to establish or finish establishing something. That's just how it goes. If they distract us, it's from something that's far more important than whatever it is they're showing us.
I'm under the bed because I'm scared. Why are you here?
To take you to hospital.
Why? because of your mental health.
You guys have seen this video, right? But I bet you don't know the dark truth behind it. I just found the latest update, and it is even more disturbing than the video itself. So this woman has lived in that apartment alone for 8 years. According to her neighbors, for those entire 8 years, she was completely normal, quiet, until a few days ago. Neighbors reported that for the last 3 nights, they heard her running out into the empty hallway in the middle of the night, screaming hysterically. But she wasn't screaming for help. She was screaming, "He is back! He is back!" Pay attention to that specific phrasing. The neighbors got spooked and called 911. That leads to this footage. Police break down the door only to find her shivering under her own bed. But here is the scariest part. When the officer asked why she was hiding, she didn't say she was scared of an intruder. She looked him dead in the eye and said, "Because of you." Everyone in the comments is saying she's just having a mental break, but what if she isn't? What if she's not hiding from the police, but hiding because she realized that the man she's been running from for 8 years is standing right there, wearing a uniform, looking down at her? Why would a normal woman suddenly be consumed by terror overnight? Unless she recognized a face.
You never know. People go through great lengths to cause terror. There are also a lot of mental conditions that are undiagnosed and can cause all kinds of delusions, hallucinations. But it's best to just try to believe a little bit. Give the person a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, just in case it's true. There's no harm in doing that, because if it is true and we don't believe it just once, the consequences could be dire.
Why is it that every time a story is told about Ellen DeGeneres, it gets weirder and weirder? And why do I say that? Because there was a man who now claims that when he was a child, he was a guest on Ellen DeGeneres' show. And he claims to have seen her do some unhuman, scary, like robotic stuff. So the individual in question at the time was a child prodigy chess player. And as you can see, this is an image from the show he was on. He was a guest on the Ellen DeGeneres show. And the claim is that once he got off the set and went back to his dressing room, Ellen DeGeneres' door was open. He took a look in at the door. It was open enough that he could see inside. So he turned his head and he looked. And what he saw next really blew his mind. And his claim is that Ellen DeGeneres was eating a rotisserie chicken, similar to the ones you see behind me. Now, he alleges that what he saw next, she opened her mouth wide open, dislocated her jaw to fit the entire chicken in one bite. Let me repeat, his alleged claim is that she took a rotisserie chicken, opened her mouth wide, dislocated her jaw, and stuffed the entire chicken in her mouth and swallowed it in one shot, and then turned and looked directly at him. And then claims as she was staring at him, she made a hissing sound. He then proceeded to run to his dressing room and let his mother know what he just saw. His mother did not believe him. So my question to you is, do you believe what he said he saw? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Okay. Could it be true? Of course it could. There's some wild things out there. But is it funny? Yeah, that's hilarious. And then when she does see him, she just hisses at him like, what? I believe it. I believe that not everyone is the same kind of a human. I don't believe that we're the only ones here. It's too many things that I've seen. And again, I've seen enough to know I don't know anything. And I'm satisfied with that.
This man reveals how they want you to be sick. Let's listen it.
We wait for you to get sick, and you do. Then, once you are sick, we don't restore your health. We merely manage your symptoms. So we can manage your high blood pressure, we can manage your cholesterol, we can manage your pain, your arthritis pain, we can manage your diabetes. We don't cure you. Current healthcare system is a hoax. People have gone on a 40-day fast and cured their cancer. The body was never designed to eat 3 meals a day, every day. We were hunter-gatherers. We would find food, we'd eat it, we'd go without food till we found more. But we eat food all the time. We weren't designed to do that. And so you need to give the digestive system a rest. And It's very, very active. And so you're putting a lot of wear and tear on the digestive system. You need to allow it to rest and repair. I recommend fasting on a regular basis. Say I do it 1 day a week and then 7 to 10 days once a year.
This decoder says, we actually want you to be sick. You eat 3 meals a day, and that's the biggest problem for digestive system. And people cure cancer by 40 days fasting. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments section.
Okay. Wild and slightly offensive video, but I believe the scare tactic is just meant to say that we do eat entirely too much. We overconsume, and there's no need. There's no scarcity in the sense of you have to worry and be a glutton. You can just enjoy what you need to enjoy when you want to enjoy it. Make sure you drink the right kind of fluids, get some exercise in, and you'll save yourself a lot of money. There's really no money in fixing you or curing you. There's only money in managing you and scaring you. So take a little responsibility, use a little bit of common sense. Get outside, get some vitamin D every now and then. You'll be fine.
An eighth ocean, you're saying they're keeping this closed off from the public for what reason?
Listen, there were things down there we just weren't prepared to encounter. Look, we were sent down into a canal which sonars couldn't detect a bottom on, right? It takes us hours to get through it, and when we finally did, we emerged into what felt like a pocket ocean. Words couldn't explain the anatomy of the creatures we were seeing outside the window, right? But we truly realized the alien nature of this place when this elongated, almost translucent-like figure, right? No joke, literally swims through the wall of the submarine. Don't ask me how, but we're just staring at it, right? As it completely passes through and just goes out the other side, right? I mean, these things weren't even abiding by our known laws of physics.
I mean, I remember saying with the crew, like, if outer space was a place on Earth, this was it, you know?
That I've always believed. All the mechanics of outer space match that of underwater. If the numbers are correct, as far as the percentage of the ocean that we are aware of versus the percentage that we don't know anything about, then yeah, there's probably some wild things out there that we are not prepared to see. And we need to be glad that they live all the way down there, no light, no access. We need to be happy that they can't breathe oxygen, or hopefully can't breathe oxygen like we do. Keep them separate, keep me up here, I'm good.
They tell us the truth in plain sight.
Smile I've ever seen out of Mark Zuckerberg.
So the song Shake It Off was about how I shed my skin every 1,000 years. And the song Bad Blood was about how I drink blood out of my Grammys.
A toast to blood!
Save some blood for Paul Rudd.
Begins at the dawn of history. The birth of the very first society begat the need for the very first secret society. A fraction of early humans were born smarter than their fellow cavemen. And if they would not listen to reason, perhaps they would listen to a higher power. And thus the Order of the Black Robes was born.
Operating from the shadows using secret knowledge, we and our descendants kept watch over all of human history.
Well, not to point out the obvious.
I watched this show, and my first thought was, I can't believe it's not the new most popular animated show out there. What they were saying is things that were never said before, not in cartoons anyway. It was considering pop culture, it was considering new things, old things, conspiracies widely believed. It touched on a lot. And for some reason, it just didn't take off. And it makes you wonder why. Because we are a pretty sick society. We love things like this. But for some reason, that cartoon never made it through. It's kind of weird.
Apple might be the most satanic company, and let me tell you why. The first Mac, you know, the iMac, do you know how much it sold for? $666. That's 666. That's what it cost.
You think that's just a fun number? No. Steve Jobs was exact with numbers. He picked that on purpose. Now look at the logo, a bitten apple. That's not just some design choice, that's the Bible, the fall of man. The moment sin entered the world, that's the symbol they went with. And then there's Siri. Say it backwards. Iris. What's your iris? Your eye. And what's the biggest symbol used in secret groups like the Illuminati? The one eye. Over and over again, same message. Now think, iPhone, that's not just internet phone, that's iPhone, E-Y-E. The eye is watching, always. So, let's put it together. You've got the number 666, you've got the apple with a bite, you've got the eye, the one eye, the iris, the iPhone, all connected. People think it's just cool tech. No, it's something else. It's a symbol, it's a system, and it's everywhere. And you carry it in your pocket.
This is just a theory, not a fact.
Okay, fine. Apple might be cynical, might be evil, but you're not taking my iPhone. I'm sorry. That bit of evil is gonna have to stay in my life. They got me, and you can't have it back. Call it what you want. That's just how I feel. Anyway, we went through some videos, we saw some things, we learned some things, and of course, we can't believe everything we learned. But it's good to know, it's good to see. That's just how it goes. You don't have to believe everything you hear, but you should see everything you can. It allows more information for you to assess, and the more information you have to assess, the closer you can get to the truth. Until next time, I am the theundj. This is Confessing Lies or Telling Stories.